I'm back to tell the truth channel. Please like, share my content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and what other content that y'all go on. I appreciate that very much. I am in Jesus and Jesus is in me. All right, I have a channel message from my father. he want me he want me to speak on this player thing. Okay, okay. He want me to speak on it. All right, now I'm gonna start back on my days when I used to be a player. Okay. Yeah, I used to be a player. I used to be a player. I was out there, but I wasn't doing it like everybody else. Now, like I said, everybody plays different ways. You know, some people want to be pimps. That's what you call players. Some of them want to be pimps. You know, so back in my day, I was not pimping out dudes. No, I wasn't doing none of that. But I was, like I have one man on the side, and then I have another man on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I was playing like that. But I wasn't pimping out nobody because, you do have pimps out here that do pimp out people, you know. And I wasn't doing that. I just had like one man on one side and another man on the other side. So let me tell y'all something. One day, you know, I had two mans, okay? Now, this is when I was like in my 20s and 30s and stuff like that. And I had two mans, and I was hoping that they would never find out. I was hoping that I would not get busted and then I would be disgusted. Because once you get busted, you be disgusted. So I was busted and I got disgusted. You get what I'm saying? So let me explain to y'all what I mean. So I had two dudes on the side, okay? So one dude wanted to come over and kick it with me. And I told him I didn't want to, kick it with him right now because I was going to kick it with the other person. You get what I'm saying? I was going to kick it with the other person. So the other dude, he just popped up on me, okay? Just popped up on me, even though I told him not to come, that I was going to kick it. I was going out to hang out. But he popped up on me anyway, okay? So, because for one reason, I had another man on the side, and this man stayed across the street from me that I was dating. And then I had a dude that I was dating, did not stay where I stayed at, but he popped up on me because I was going to kick it with the person that stayed across the street. You know what I'm saying? So, all of a sudden, my sister told me, she said, look, you better cool out because you're going to get busted. I said, I ain't going to get busted. She said, yes, you is. You better cool out because you're going to get busted and then you're going to be disgusted when you get busted. So I said, okay. So one day, the dude popped up. I'm getting ready to go over across the street. And then I'm kicking it with the dude. And then the dude across the street was one day, I guess, why it was taking me so long to come over there. So he came across the street. And then I had two dudes in the house. So you know what I did? I just left them both in the house and I walked out the door. I left them there by themselves and I just walked out the door. So I was busted and disgusted, you know. So sometimes the players get caught up, sometimes the players don't get caught up. It depends on how you play your cards, you know. So when I got caught up that time, I had figured it out like, no, you don't have a man across the street and then have a man on the other side somewhere else because it can always backfire that person can come up on you even though you don't know that person is coming, to pop up. So, this is what I used to do. I started telling people, look, man, don't come popping up at my house like this without calling. Don't come popping up because if you pop up without calling, you're not getting in. So you better call before you come. And they start catching on to that. Like, don't just pop up to my house without calling me. I don't care wherever I'm at. If I tell you I ain't there, I ain't there. Don't come popping up. You understand what I'm saying? So they say, all right. So they start calling because when I got caught up that time, I had to check that. I had to check it. Don't do that. Call me. You don't know what other plans I got. This don't come popping up on me at my career without my permission. Because the next time you pop up, you going to be standing out there. You just going to be knocking and ringing that doorbell because I ain't opening nothing. Okay? So I told them just like that. And they caught the message. So you got to lay it down. You got to tell people the truth. Like, look, if you call yourself being a player, be straight, honest, and forward with the person. Don't play the games because you're going to get caught up. And when you get caught up, you're going to be disgusted when you get caught up. That's just the way it is. So just tell the truth. Yeah, I'm busy, but I got something else to do. If you want to kick it with me, call me. I'll let you know when you can come on through. That's how you do that. Just don't come popping up because when you pop up, you're going to be disgusted because the person ain't going to open the door and let you in. That's the way it is. So, but when you get a certain age, it's time to shut it down. Even if you a pimp and you pimping out people, when you get a certain age, it's time to shut it down because you know you ain't getting no younger and you ain't gonna get no younger. And at the end of the day, don't no woman want no old man. Don't no woman want no old woman. They don't want that. So it's time to let it go. It's time to shut it down. Because you know what? God give us time to play, okay? He know we young. He know we gonna do things. He already know that. That's the reason why Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Because he know we was gonna make mistakes and do crazy things. It's just the way it is. So, when you get a certain age, it's time to shut it down. Because you got to look at this. As you get older, things change. It's not the same anymore. And back then, in our days, when it was diseases out, it was not deep like it was back then. Because now it's deep. These diseases out here is straight up deep. So it's time to shut it down. When you know this stuff done got too deep and you hearing it around the grapevine that people getting this and people getting that and people giving it to people and walking away like they ain't got it and all that stuff, it's time for the players to shut it down. That means, okay, God telling me, let it go. Let it go. Because you don't want to get something that you can't get rid of or die from. So you got to let it go. Now, when you young, it's a different thing. It's a whole new different story when you're young because you know you're going to play. That's just the way it is. You're going to play. But as you get older, it's time to let it go. It's time to settle down, have a family, and teach your children not to do what you do. You tell your son or your daughter, no, I was a player back then. Yeah, sure was. But I don't want you to follow my footsteps. That's what you tell them. I was a player back then. Yeah, I had it going on. But then, look, I don't want you doing what I do. I want you to go to college. I want you to make a career out of yourself. I want you to have a career that's going to take you far in life. I don't want you doing the things I used to do. That was my life. Your life is different than my life. Go farther than me. Do better than what I did. That's what you tell your children. Don't follow my footsteps. I want you to take your life farther. And then take your children's life farther. You know, so if you're doing good in your life, then yeah, that's a different thing. You want your children to follow your footsteps if you're doing something good, making something out yourself, then you want that child to follow your footsteps. But if you have been out there doing things that you should not have been doing when you was younger, you don't want your children to pick up that. No, you want them to do better. So you teach them, do better. Don't do what I did. You can do better. That's how you teach your children. You know, you don't want them to follow your footsteps. You don't want the generation to keep going on and on and on and on. No, you tell them, no, don't do that. Do better. Don't do what I did. What I did is what I did. I'm just letting you know. I'm telling you what I did because I don't want you to follow into them steps. That's how you do that. So if you got aunties and uncles and all that stuff, and they telling you all what they used to do back in the day, don't follow that. That's what they did. You know? So the aunties and uncles and all that should tell you, okay, I'm your auntie, I'm your uncle. I don't want you following my footsteps. Don't do that. Do better. Do better. Because if your parents telling you don't follow their footsteps, your aunties and uncles and all that, cousins and all that should tell you, don't follow my footsteps. That's what I did in my past life. You don't do it in your life. Do better. Do better. That's what you tell your children. Do better. Don't follow me. Do better than me. That's what you tell them. Do better. Because I don't want you in the situation that I got myself in. I want you to do better than the situation that I had got myself in. That's what you tell your children. Go farther in life. And teach your children to go farther in life. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. So you tell them, so I told you about my past because I don't want you to follow them steps. That's why I'm telling you this, because I don't want you to go there. Because you know what? Sometimes the children do follow the parents' footsteps. Sometimes the children do follow the aunties and uncles and stuff footsteps. And you don't want them to do that. You want them to do better. So you tell them, don't follow my footsteps. Go farther in life. Make a career. Go to school. Go to college. Make a career out of your life. Do better. Prove to me that you can do better in what I did in my life. And that would make me proud of you. Because you showing me, Mom, Dad, Auntie, Uncle, I'm showing y'all I can do better. And that makes us proud that y'all doing better than what we did. So that's what y'all do. Y'all teach y'all children, excuse me, to do better in their lives. Don't teach them to follow the footsteps that you followed. Teach them to do better. Because you don't want them out there catching all of that stuff. That stuff is dangerous. So when you learn that things is out there and it's getting worse out there, let it go. Put your cards up. Put up your cards, pimps and players. Put your cards up. It's time to let it go and put it up and have a family and teach your children. That's how you do that. Teach them. So this is what the Father wants me to speak on. Y'all, teach your children to do the right things. Don't teach them to do the things that you did. Teach them to do better than you. You don't want them out there catching nothing. You want them to have a happy life, to enjoy their life and go on and on with their lives. So they can have their children and then they can teach their children to go on and on in their lives. So that's how you do that. Teach your children not to follow your footsteps, to do the right thing, not the wrong thing. Because, that's just the way it is. We lived our lives. Now let your children live their lives the right way. That's how you do that. Thank y'all for listening to me. Jesus love you. Father love you. The Holy Ghost, the angels, the ancestors, and I love y'all. And I'll be back to talk to y'all again soon. Y'all have a good day and a blessed day.